I am really glad that when I wrote this video a long time ago, that Hasbro haven't really changed in any way when it comes to selling of their product. Now, you might be wondering, why are the Zords a little bit too late? I have no idea. I generally really think Hasbro don't give a shit about their brand at times, and thus therefore releasing their Zords much later on. Why? And you didn't even finish the line, and now you've run into Cosmic Fury. Time is running out with those toys if you're ever going to do a toy line. So far there's not been any confirmation if there are going to be any Cosmic Fury toys, which is really concerning considering this is almost out. I think it's roughly around about September time 2023, and yet nothing is in the toy stores. Nothing is even being talked about online. So what am I talking about? So when Hasbro decided to release Dino Fury, rather than have the Zords at the very beginning, and remember, this is the company that does Transformers, the kings of making robots. Where are the Cosmic Fury toys back then? Or the Dino Fury toys back then? But now, if I remember, I think it was a couple of months. I want to say 6 months. I'm sure it's like 6 months in. And yet, then they released the Zords. Now, the only reason why I bring this up is I want to know what Hasbro's thought process is. You'd want to think on day one, the biggest thing that probably sells a lot more than Power Ranger toys like morphers and figures are the Zords. You have Zord enthusiasts, robot enthusiasts. You have people that want to buy this product straight away, and yet they were late to the party because they couldn't figure things out or something like that. And to that, I'm just like, what? You can't figure that out or something? It doesn't really sit well in my sort of eyes. It kind of makes me go, huh? What? This kind of reminds me, because obviously now we have like the Fires or the whatever Zord it is, the one that premiered in like a few episodes so they can get the flame key or whatever. I generally really thought that this would have been out, but Hasbro are kind of doing what Bandai of Japan did with the Gokaiger line, because they didn't release everything straight away. It crept into the Go Buster range, where I think is a bit, huh? Now, I'm going to do a video on the whole Gokaiger toy line at some point, because it really got to me, because I really loved Gokaiger, and the fact is I still haven't completed my collection, but at the time it was very hard to get any of the toys or anything like that, much later on. So yeah, that's a much later on video. Now, let's say Cosmic Fury was not coming out and we didn't know what season was next. What would have happened? Would they have still released toys when nothing was on the air? Would they have just carried on like nothing and be like, oh hey, they're in the wild? Because I generally thought that they would have had a better strategy plan. I generally thought day one, as soon as Dino Fury aired, boom, all the toys to some degree. You would have had mainline figures, Morpher, and the Megazord to come out. And again, they didn't. And it just made me think, huh? What? Why? Now, let's just say, for example, they adapted Lupin Ranger versus Pata Ranger, and that was in full swing. We were about halfway through, and yet suddenly more Dino Fury toys were kind of creeping in. You would kind of think, would people still want that? Now, I know some people would easily collect. I guarantee people would have gone, yeah, I would have bought that. I just sometimes think that as soon as something new comes along, that's it. No one really wants the old stuff. And to be fair, that's normally true. You know, why would you want to complete your collection when a brand new collection is coming out? Me personally, I wanted to collect all the Zords from Dino Fury, but they made a mistake. They didn't release everything in the Beast Morphers line. And you're like, whoa, hang on a minute. You just said that you wanted the Dino Fury toys. Why are you turning around saying Beast Morphers? You're just jumping all over the place, Mark. Well, it's very simple. Beast Morphers never finished off their Zord. They didn't release the Beast X King Zord in the line, which obviously makes it into a huge big thing and stuff like that. And you kind of think, dear God, why? It's the only one that they had to finish. They could have done this, but no, they chose not to. So now linking it back to Dino Fury, to me personally, I didn't want to collect it, because what happens if they didn't bring out like the Fire Zord, or they didn't bring out another Zord? For me personally, I'm kind of a completionist. I really like completing entire sets so I can go, wow, that's really cool. But, you know, why would I want to buy Zords that wouldn't be finished? Like, can you imagine like there's so much emphasis on this one last sword in Dino Fury, and you're like, oh my god, I need it, and then suddenly we've gone into Cosmic Fury and they never release it. It just screams red flags, and I don't particularly want to put money into something that I'm not going to be able to finish. So part of me was just like, no. So literally the Zords are way too late in this. It's interesting how we're getting the Dimetro Blazing Zord right now, when in Cosmic Fury, when they're not using the Zords at all because they were all destroyed. So is this a way that Hasbro are thinking, shit, we can still release it because it's still Power Rangers, it's still the Rangers and stuff like that? I would generally really like to know that one, only because it just feels weird that you didn't release this straight away, in that, you know, over the course of 2 years, you could have brought out any one really quickly. But can you imagine, like, this one never came out? Your Zord collection would be incomplete. Bandai of Japan, what they do is they release it a little bit earlier before the series starts, and then they carry on all the way through and release it in different quarters. They have a year. Hasbro, you've been making Power Ranger series that normally go on for 2 years. So why are you not pulling your finger out, giving what the customers want, and making all the Zords, rather than just literally going on months upon months of not even having anything, to then all of a sudden something pops up? It should be Q1, here are the mainline toys, here's the Morpher, here's the Zord. So phase 2, here are some more Zords. Phase 3, here's another load of Zords. Phase 4, Zords complete. Very simple. You have enough time, and over 2 years, what are you going to do? It just seems really weird that you're not thinking properly, and you're just hoping that either people forget. I won't forget, and neither will most of the fandom. Cosmic Fury is coming up pretty fast right now. It is the next big thing that the fandom is talking about. So where are the toys? They should be out by now. There should be some leaks. There should be some information from Hasbro Direct to say, these are the toys coming, look at them, to get people hyped up so that people can buy them. You could release them literally on that day and say, here you go out and buy them in the wild. People would lap it up. So Hasbro, why aren't you doing this? Have you completely forgotten right now? Do you not give a shit about any of this anymore? Or are you just going to kind of wing it and go, oh, the toys are going to come out next year? Sort your brand out. So kind of wrapping up this video, because most of my notes I'm just repeating myself. Hasbro have a track record of not finishing their Zords at the moment, and that's a really big shame. Hasbro should at least put more power and more effort into doing this properly if they want this brand to succeed. If you're not releasing the Zords and you can't be bothered finishing the line, let people know so that they can choose to either have an incomplete collection, or in their eyes, they may think it's complete. Don't get into this routine of, oh, well, like, you know, the fans don't care. Because at the end of the day, you want to make money. It's like making all of the Lightning collection and then stopping halfway through and then just ditching the line. And then people have incomplete teams, incomplete characters and stuff. You need to sort this out as fast as possible and sit down, even if it is in with the Jonathan Entwistle phase, and go, right, this is what we're doing for the rest of time. Otherwise, you're just going to miss out, and people are not going to buy the big stuff. Yeah, you have the weird way of releasing these toys that, you know, hey, I want to buy this. No, well, you have to buy it with this sword instead. Oh, fuck, I have to, don't I? It's just getting tiresome, and it's the reason why I've not collected any of the Zords, because I don't want to collect them, because I can never finish them. So Hasbro, think of a plan. Take what you know, make the Zords, because you know the blueprints. It's not like these are brand new. Like, can you imagine going like, oh, what? How do we design the Zords? Didn't Bandai of Japan do it? How do we make these Zords? They've never been done before. You've got a blueprint. You literally have everything from Toei. You could easily make the Megazord from Q Ranger and stuff like that, because that's been out for a long time. Very easy enough to do, but why aren't you doing it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Hasbro should make these Zords a lot earlier so you can get them, or are you okay with them releasing them whenever? Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, why not hit like, favorite, comment, and subscribe? And why not check out the channel memberships to help the channel grow? Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I'll catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help does go a long way to support the channel. And if you want to consider helping the channel, then links to my Patreon as well as the channel members are listed below.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。